Ever wondered where that extra dollar went when you received money through PayPal? Or maybe you've been on the other side, sending money and seeing a slightly smaller amount arrive than you intended. It's a common question, and today we're diving deep into the world of PayPal fees, specifically focusing on the fees associated with receiving money. Because let's face it, nobody likes losing a cut of their hard-earned cash, whether you're a freelancer, a small business owner, or just someone sending and receiving money between friends and family. So, is there a fee for receiving money on PayPal? The short answer is, sometimes. It's not a simple yes or no, and that's exactly why we're here today to break down the complexities and make sure you're crystal clear on when you'll be charged, when you won't, and how to potentially minimize or even avoid these fees altogether. Now, before we get into the specifics, it's important to understand that PayPal's fee structure is designed to cover the costs of running their platform. Think about it. They're facilitating transactions across borders, handling currency conversions, providing security measures to protect your funds, and offering customer support. These services aren't free to provide, and that's where the fees come into play. Let's start with the most common scenario, receiving money for goods or services. If you're selling something online, whether it's through an online marketplace, your own website, or even just invoicing a client directly, you'll generally be charged a fee. This is known as a commercial transaction, and PayPal treats it differently than sending money to friends and family. The fee for receiving commercial payments typically consists of two parts, a fixed fee and a percentage-based fee. The percentage varies depending on your region and the currency you're dealing with, but it's usually around a few percent of the total transaction amount. The fixed fee is a small, flat amount that's added to the percentage-based fee. So, for example, if you receive $100 for a product you sold, you might be charged a fee of, say, 2.9% plus 30 cents. That would be $2.90 plus 30 cents, totaling $3.20. You'd receive $96.80 in your PayPal account. Now, here's where things get interesting. There's a significant difference between receiving money for goods and services and receiving money from friends and family. When you receive money for personal reasons, like splitting a dinner bill, paying back a loan, or sending a gift, PayPal typically doesn't charge a fee to the recipient. The sender might incur a fee depending on how they fund the transaction, such as using a credit card, but the person receiving the money usually gets the full amount. This distinction is crucial. If you're a freelancer, for example, and you're invoicing a client, you'll likely be charged a fee for receiving that payment. But if your friend is just sending you $20 for their share of the pizza last night, you probably won't be charged anything. So, how does PayPal differentiate between a commercial transaction and a personal one? When you send money, you're usually given the option to choose the purpose of the payment. You'll see options like goods/services or friends and family. It's absolutely essential to select the correct option. If you select friends and family for a commercial transaction, you could be violating PayPal's terms of service, and you might even have your account suspended. Plus, the buyer loses the buyer protection that comes with a goods/services transaction. Now, let's talk about some specific scenarios and how the fees might apply. If you're selling on eBay, for instance, PayPal is often integrated directly into the platform. The fees will generally be calculated and displayed during the checkout process, so you'll know exactly what you'll be charged before the transaction goes through. Similarly, if you're using a platform like Etsy or Shopify, which also integrate with PayPal, the fee structure will usually be transparent. What about international transactions? This is where things can get a bit more complex. When you receive money from someone in a different country, there might be additional fees involved, such as currency conversion fees. PayPal makes money on the exchange rate, so they might not give you the absolute best rate you could find elsewhere. There might also be cross-border fees, which are charged when money is sent between different countries. These fees vary depending on the countries involved and the amount of money being sent. So, how can you minimize or avoid these fees? One of the best ways is to ensure that you're classifying transactions correctly. If it's a personal payment, choose friends and family. If it's for goods or services, choose goods/services. This might seem obvious, but it's a common mistake that can lead to unnecessary fees. Another thing to keep in mind is the currency you're dealing with. If you're receiving money in a different currency, you might want to consider withdrawing it in that currency and then exchanging it through a different service that offers better exchange rates. This can sometimes save you money on currency conversion fees. Also, be aware of PayPal's fee schedule. They have a detailed fee schedule on their website that outlines all the different fees for various types of transactions. It's a good idea to familiarize yourself with the schedule so you know exactly what to expect. Finally, consider alternative payment methods. Depending on the situation, there might be other payment platforms that offer lower fees or even no fees for receiving money. It's always good to explore your options and see what works best for you. So, to recap, is there a fee for receiving money on PayPal? Yes, generally for commercial transactions like selling goods or services. No, usually for personal transactions like receiving money from friends and family. The fees for commercial transactions typically involve a percentage-based fee and a fixed fee. International transactions might have additional fees, such as currency conversion fees and cross-border fees. And you can minimize fees by classifying transactions correctly, being mindful of currency exchange rates, and exploring alternative payment methods. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.